This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Kia ora, good evening. With the South Today, I'm Craig Story. Prepare thee, chilly weather is heralding winter's approach, and frost and snow are likely for the south of New Zealand next week. Meteorologists are stopping short of describing it as an Arctic blast, but they do say that the colder air coming from the South Pole will be widely felt, with temperatures plunging by 5 to 10 degrees Celsius. Oh dear. NIWA meteorologist Ben Knowles says there will be 2 blasts of cold weather, one early in the coming week and another more aggressive one at the end of the week. Knowles says you can expect frost and some snow on the mountains. Weather later in the show is actually better. Exclusive images of a new hotel development proposed for Queenstown have been revealed to the South today. The Crest has been designed by Arrowtown-based architect Fred Van Brandenburg on land he owns above Frankton Road. Mina Amso spoke to Van Brandenburg about his upcoming project.
Located on Frankton Road, overlooking Lake Wakatipu, the Crest Hotel would be more than just a hotel, according to its designer Fred Van Brandenburg. Brandenburg said he had 2 things in mind to reflect New Zealand's natural landscape and its cultural heritage.
The balconies are flicks of they represent the waves of the lake. The walls that are shaped on the lower units they look like wakas, because wakas would have sailed, plied the lakes before the white settlers arrived.
Brandenburg says he would make use of recycled material during construction.
We enjoy the idea of using material that have been abandoned, and we're doing that in our project in China particularly. So we go to all the factories collecting waste slag off the glass blowing industry produce a lot of waste. Pottery industries and so on, and we insert that into the materials, into the surfaces. So that's how we get our colours and textures for the entire project.
The 18,000 square metre hotel would have 100 units of either 1 or 2 bedrooms.
It's got a jetty facility and underground parking, very large decks, which is quite unusual for a hotel. And some very large units involved in those as well, although they can be broken down into smaller units if we wished.
Brandenburg can't say what the cost would be at this stage.
It looks expensive, yet we know how to build it in a cost-effective way.
The new hotel would include a restaurant and spa. The project was fully consented over 12 months ago, and Brandenburg says he is now looking for the right owners and operators.
We've had quite a few approaches, and I have to say, just as they interview me, I interview them too. I've got to have the right mix. I've got to have the people that are passionate about this.
He hoped construction would start towards the end of the year and the hotel finished by 2019. Mina Amso, The South Today.
New Zealand's leading journal of arts and literature, Landfall, has announced the winner of the inaugural Charles Brash Young Writers Essay Competition. New Zealand student Andy Zay, currently studying at the University of Columbia in the United States, takes the $500 prize with his essay, The Great New Zealand Myth. The award is named in honour of Dunedin poet and literary figure Charles Brash, who founded Landfall in 1947. The new competition is an annual award open to New Zealand writers aged 16 to 21. Landfall editor David Eggleton says the 48 entries received were a throng of lively, opinionated, argumentative essays brimming with ideas. Dunedin residents blanketed the grass of Queen's Gardens yesterday in observance of this year's Anzac Day. Speakers commemorated the passing of 100 years since 1917, considered the darkest year for New Zealanders in the First World War.
A light mist hung over Queen's Gardens as Dunedin residents made their way through the dark to commemorate Anzac Day for 2017. The weather remained mild but drizzly as around 9,000 people gathered together around the towering cenotaph. Reverend Dr. Tony Martin highlighted the passing of a century since the Battle of Passchendaele, which had one of the highest death tolls for New Zealand soldiers.
As a young man serving in the New Zealand Army, I attended a presentation by a brigadier At the end of the presentation, the Brigadier was asked, "Why are you a soldier?" Without hesitation, his eyes welled up with a tear, and he replied, "I serve as a soldier so we may never experience another Passion Day."
Over 1,000 Kiwis died at the battle on October 12, 1917, with over 1,000 more either wounded or missing. New Zealand Defence Force Deputy Commander Joint Forces Air Commodore Kevin McAvoy drew attention to the efforts of New Zealand troops around the world today.
100 years on, the world is a different place, but the New Zealand Defence Force is still actively engaged across the globe, promoting and defending our national values. Our task is to be prepared before the worst occurs. Threats to our nation are varied and develop extremely quickly. They range from natural disasters to cyber attacks, from terrorism to the threat of large-scale war. And all too commonly, our forces have to deal with people who have no regard for human rights or the law of war.
The ceremony wound down with the laying of wreaths on the cenotaph and a solemn rendition of The Last Post by Ralph Miller. Following the dawn service, other ceremonies took place around the city. A well-attended mid-morning service at Andersons Bay Cemetery gave more people the chance to pay their respects. Jack Conroy, The South Today.
And we'll have a wrap-up of the Anzac commemorations from around the regions later this bulletin. Still to come on The South Today, important conservation work has been carried out on bears, lions and tigers at Otago Museum as facilities are being upgraded, and pictures from Anzac commemorations across the country.
Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. Call now on 473 8252. Please adopt a pet now, they will love you forever.
They say the grass is always greener, but not if you have Ready Lawn. Call Ready Lawn today and make them green with envy.
Hi, I'm Dennis Charlotte, and road racing motorcycles is my lifetime passion. It's a massive adrenaline rush, but the high-speed crashes have been tough on the body over the years. I almost felt as old as my mate Ian.
Sportsval, supporting tendons, ligaments and cartilage. And Energy Plus helps replace the energy that everyday living takes away.
Now I feel more alive and have more sustained energy to really enjoy my racing.
Buy 2 packs of Sportsval and get 2 packs of Energy Plus absolutely free. So call now, 0800 502 402.
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician, for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
The University of Otago, an institute of world-class education and the social epicentre of the city, with outfits needed for more formal functions like the ball and for less formal functions like
the zoo? Are you sure?
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah, Dad, you'll definitely see me. I'm the one in the yellow and blue face paint and the onesie in the zoo.
Put your seatbelts on for this one and rev it up. Thursday night is Motorsport Night. Proudly brought to you by multi-award-winning Garrador.
From rare to the recent, visit the legendary Hard to Find for your quality second-hand books, with the largest stock in New Zealand and a friendly book-loving atmosphere. For good prices, buying or selling, come visit 20 Dowling Street.
Grandad loved his family and surfing, in that order. He taught me to surf, and we spent a lot of time in the water together over the years. When he died, I strapped the camera to the nose of his old board and filmed the paddle out at St. Clair. Gillian's played the video on the big screen at his funeral. Grandad would have loved having everyone come out one last surf with him.
Gillian's Funeral Services, helping families celebrate the lives of their loved ones for generations. Gillians.co.nz.
Thank you for staying with the South Today. A Southland Police search and rescue team have recovered the bodies of 2 climbers from an area below Marion Peak in the Darren Mountains in Fiordland. Sergeant Todd Hollibin of Te Anau Police says that 2 climbers were reported missing a few days ago and have been overdue for 24 hours. He says a helicopter search located the climbers at the base of a climbing face where they had clearly suffered a fall. Police have contacted the pair's next of kin. Lions, tigers and bears, some of Otago Museum's most exotic animals, are set for a spruce-up. One of the improvements is the addition of LED lights to save energy and to preserve the animals from light damage. While the renovations are occurring, the popular animal attic will be closed to the public.
Work is being done to avoid and minimise future deterioration and loss to creatures of land, sea and sky at Otago Museum's Animal Attic.
My favourite is probably the Rat King, which is the collection of rats that are joined together at the tail. It's quite rare from what I understand, and they apparently die quite quickly because obviously 7 or 8 rats trying to move around all joined together doesn't really go that well.
Wolf?
You like the wolf?
Wolf and the wolf, platypus and the kangaroo.
The preventative work at the Victorian-inspired gallery will include maintenance of the gallery's historic cases, improvements to seals on skylights and doors, and a deep clean. The museum is also replacing current lights with LEDs.
The museum is actually doing, gradually over time, changing a lot of our lighting, so it's partly for the collections to help, because LED lighting can be a bit more controllable, it's a lot easier to dim up and down, but also in terms of energy saving as well and trying to be a bit more aware of the natural resources we use, so there's a lot less energy consumption using LED lights.
During the renovations between May and June, the gallery will be closed. The work will not interfere with the specimens on display or the way they are to be displayed in future, but rather allows the museum to address issues including light, humidity, pollution and pest control. Roselle LeBone, The South Today.
As mentioned earlier in the bulletin, Anzac Day was commemorated yesterday across the country. The South Today's regional reporters were on duty from Oamaru to Invercargill, and these are their stories.
And in the dawn, they were remembered at services across the country. In Oamaru, meagre street lighting made for a sombre and dark start to the day's events at the town's Great War Memorial. Around 1,500 people attended Oamaru's dawn service on Lower Thames Street, many casting shadows as they lay wreaths at the base of the monument. Across in Alexandra, around 500 people attended. Many veterans and whānau representing their loved ones took part in the parade. Captain Wayne Small of the Army's Logistics Regiment spoke to the crowd.
A wooden cross marks a resting place 1,000 miles from loved ones. Rusted wire, silent guns, trenches torn and broken.
And people ascended the memorial's steps to lay wreaths and salute the fallen. Balcluth's dawn service was arguably the most spectacular in the south, as dawn broke right on cue, providing a spectacular light. Veterans and families paid their respects as dawn slowly broke over the cenotaph. At Invercargill's events, the South Today's Ruby Spink talked with some of those gathered.
Yeah, no, very important to remember who's died for us.
I always go to the dawn parade and stuff like that, you know. They fought for us, you know. That's what I think, yeah.
Oh, very relevant. Yeah, my grandfather was at Gallipoli in 1915 and I was in Gallipoli in 2015. They were at the draw.
Oh, very relevant. Yeah, he very
Very much so, yes.
It's a great community event, you know, getting up dawn service. There's not much point in going to the ones at midday, you know, get up early, show a bit of Kiwi pride about yourself, you know.
Anzac Day 2017, 100 years since the apex of World War I, saw thousands of hardy Southerners honouring the people who gave their lives. Even though there are no remaining veterans from the First World War left, at the going down of the sun and in the morning we did remember them. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, more than 30 kilometres into the atmosphere. And it all begins in Wanaka. NASA is thrilled to put a balloon into space, and Valence Cottage in Alexandra could receive an amenity. Also tomorrow's ODT and the weather.
Loss of collagen is the reason for those fine lines and wrinkles. Silberhorn's Collagen Plus naturally supports your collagen levels, giving you younger, firmer looking skin, healthier, shinier hair and stronger nails. Joints, tendons, ligaments and cartilage all benefit from healthy collagen levels, the very foundation of structural health. Support collagen levels naturally with Collagen Plus by Silberhorn. Be quick, buy one now and get a second pack half price. Call now 0800 502 402.
Every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 15 years. New doors, replacement doors, repairs and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team at 553 Kaikoura Valley Road. Visit www.garrador.co.nz or call us on 488 5676.
Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. Call now on 473 8252. Please adopt a pet now, they will love you forever.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Silberhorn Active Manuka Honey from the natural Manuka forests of New Zealand. Buy one 250-gram pot for $34.90 and get a second pot for half price. Order online at silberhorn.co.nz.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
The South Today, I'm Craig Story. Thank you for coming back. After a month of early mornings and 7 failed launches, there was a sense of relief amongst the NASA Super Pressure Balloon team based in Wanaka. NASA hopes stadium-sized research balloon rises to more than 30 kilometres up and that it will stay there for more than 3 months.
Up, up and up some more, as shown in this time-lapse taken of yesterday morning's NASA balloon launch. NASA scientists were audibly ecstatic at yesterday's successful launch of their latest research balloon. Program Officer Debbie Fairbrother says her team is both relieved and excited.
Yes, very excited. We were waiting a little bit this time, not as long as last year, but we were ready for a launch.
Her sentiments are shared by Lawrence Winkie of EUSO. He says part of the space mission is to see cosmic rays using an Extreme Universe Space Observatory telescope.
What we're going to try to do is measure ultra-high energy cosmic rays for the first time by looking down on the atmosphere using a fluorescent detector. So we're going to look for the streaks of light that these particles make when they interact in the atmosphere.
The balloon is ascending to about 109,000 feet, or 33.5 kilometres, where the research team hopes it'll stay for about 100 days or more collecting information. By 11 p.m. last night, the balloon was about 40 kilometres east of Christchurch, heading in a northeasterly direction. Previous balloons have come down in Australia and Peru. The balloon's progress can be tracked at the website shown on screen. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
Alexandra's historic Valence Cottage could overlook a new commercial venture, as expressions of interest are being sought for land surrounding the cottage. The Central Otago District Council says the Vincent County Community Board would like to lease out the land to a small, mobile operation. The venture is required to be transportable, such as a mobile coffee shop or food vendor, a retail shop, or an artist in a portable cabin. It is hoped more people will come to the cottage and increase income to maintain it through donations from visitors and the lease for a commercial operation. And now let's recap tonight's top stories on The South Today. Exclusive images of a new Queenstown hotel development called The Crest have been revealed to The South Today. They come from courtesy of Arrowtown-based architect Fred Van Brandenburg, and Dunedin residents blanketed the grass of Queen's Gardens yesterday in observance of this year's Anzac Day, which began in a gentle pre-dawn mist. And more on that story, and I'm sure a lot more. Dave Cannon from the UDT. How are you, sir?
Not too bad, not too bad. A fairly sombre paper tomorrow. We've got extensive coverage of this tragic shooting death in Invercargill.
Indeed.
And, you know, the police officer who's been charged with murder. And no, it's all very tragic, so we've got that coverage. Plus, of course, we've got the coverage of the two young climbers who perished in Fiordland over the weekend, and there's been tributes flowing into those two young fellows today. They're obviously very talented climbers, and we have a very tragic end down there, so we've got plenty of that tomorrow. Slightly more upbeat, we've got a lovely story about a 100-year-old lady who wanted a birthday present with a difference, so her family took her for a fly in a helicopter today. So
jolly.
Good for her. There's a lovely photograph of that. And we've got some late-breaking stuff. There's the Heritage Reuse Awards on tonight, which we've got that. We've got the MPs discussing the climate change report in town today, Sir Alan Marks with that cross-party group tonight, so we're covering that. And the Ideal Services meeting on tonight, so everyone's very busy at the moment, as you can imagine.
Golly.
And the Wash column tomorrow, we're following up the story today about the moving of the Edinburgh Stone from the stadium round to the university.
Yes.
We've got a little bit of a discussion on public art and sculptures and things like that, so we're having a look at that. So plenty to carry on with.
Lots of stories, lots of articles. Your reporters will be busy.
They will be very busy, as they should be.
Well done, Dave. Thank you so very much indeed.
Cheers.
All right, prepare yourself and let's have a look at tomorrow's weather.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Silverhorn Collagen Plus.
And it's a very beautiful picture out of Queenstown. It's a very handsome place to be right now, so pretty. And that is deep farmland, and I believe that actually looks towards in the south. Our old friend the anticyclone has dispersed. It is still tracking away from the country, but look at that situation. We have weather on its way. This is going to change, but please stay attuned to these conditions. In Balclutha, light westerlies, high cloud, 16, clearly pinned in these conditions, but we're looking at overcast conditions, plenty of showers, just to start, well, in the middle of this week anyway. After the central outlook, well, we're looking for light westerlies, high cloud, 16, 17, 15, 18 degrees. We can expect rain in Te Anau, overcast in Alexandra, Queenstown, and in Wanaka. To Oamaru and Omarama, we can look for light winds, fine 16, 18, 19 degrees. Expect very overcast but light wind conditions for most of this region. In Dunedin tonight, a little cloudy, 11 degrees we can expect, actually 8 tonight. And Thursday, mostly fine periods, might give way to showers though, 9 and 18, but Friday we can expect showers, 7 and 18. Invercargill tonight, fine, light winds, not a bad place to be, 9 degrees. Thursday, overcast, 6 and 19. Friday, late rain, nor'westers, and 8 and 15 degrees. But we have new weather incoming late this week, early next week, which is going to change all of those numbers. And that is the South Today. It's been my privilege to present for you. I'm Craig Story. Thank you very much. Good evening.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.